Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rum and Regret podcast. I am Andy Drake.
Johanna Myers.
Nate Tussey, and we drink and we know things.
It is Tuesday, June 4th, and a lot of stuff's going on since we've last recorded. One of us has leveled up. Happy birthday, Jobin.
Thank you. I'm old.
Hope you had fun in the desert as you normally do. We certainly missed you around the water cooler here, but so a lot's happened since we've last talked. There's a lot to talk about, and we're just gonna get right into it. So, Joe, do you have a horror corner for us?
I do. My little black heart has grown at least 3 sizes since last we talked.
Nice.
For one giant reason we'll talk about later.
Okay.
But we have a Beetlejuice trailer.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Don't say that name.
I cannot wait for this.
Yeah, it was great. We went to see Garfield because Xander wanted to see Garfield, and they played the first trailer in front of that one, but then we went to go see Furiosa last weekend, and they played the second trailer in front of that one, which
nice.
So, like in 2 weeks, we got to see both trailers on the big screen, which was awesome.
How was Garfield?
Honestly, not that bad.
That's about what I expected. Okay.
Yeah, there was some really. Sorry, Joe. I don't mean to take it
no,
over here.
Let's do the Garfield review later.
Okay. Yeah. I'll talk about that later. Yeah. Sorry, Joe. Continue.
Beetlejuice.
No.
The juice is loose, baby.
Loose.
Yeah. Can't wait for this one. I have been voluntold. I'm going with Mousy and her daughter, who's
nice
a Beetlejuice fan, dressed up as Beetlejuice for Halloween. So
that's
excited.
Awesome.
Very excited. Next, Alien Romulus.
Yeah, we got a new trailer.
A new trailer for that, and it's going back to the good old days of, like trying to be helpful and getting stuck with an alien.
That's the best Alien trailer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Like the first Romulus trailer was great, but this one, holy shit. That was so scary.
Yeah.
There's something in the water. What do you mean? I don't know. There's something in the water.
The face huggers.
Dude, the scene where she shines the light through her back and you see the thing getting ready to
inside.
Oh, dude.
There's going to be some side kittens for that movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Geez, I think that'll probably reframe the side kitten curve.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to outshine brand new cherry flavor. Come on, you guys.
I mean, well, one is just like an ew, and this one's going to be like, oh my god.
Well, on that note, I watched the first Omen. So I originally, in my curmudgeoniness, was like, "Why do we need the Omen prequel?" This is stupid.
I heard it was fucked, but in like the best way for horror people. Yeah,
it's 8 to 9 side kittens. Like,
that's what I heard. Yeah.
It skirted an NC-17 rating, and I can tell why.
Oh damn!
It's wild.
That's crazy,
and it's really, really good. It's awesome. Go watch it. And for those people that are nitpicky, it does actually kind of... The continuity is a little weird between this and the original Omen. This movie's so good, if that bothers you, then you suck. Go out, touch some grass, as the kids say. Just get over it, because this movie is that good.
Right. Okay. Nice.
And,
nice.
That's the horror corner.
Nice. All right. Let's jump. Nate, do you have anything to add to the?
No, I mean, we probably should have ended with that though, because then we could have gone right into Raw.
That's true. That's true.
The thing is, but that's fine. We're good.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
We'll circle back.
We will circle back. So let's go to the Rum and Regret watch list. And there's a lot happening. First, for shows coming out in the within a stone's throw of where we're at, Sweet Tooth on Netflix comes out on Thursday. The final season of Sweet Tooth. which is
we didn't even
cool.
watch the second one. Shit.
Oh man, really, really good.
Probably get into that. Okay.
Yeah, put it on the list, Nate. Put it on the list, man.
It's going up right now. Watch this.
Yeah. Second show which is out. It started today. Star Wars: The Acolyte on the Disney Plus came out today. Thursday, June 13th, we get The Boys on Amazon Prime. And then, of course, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, June 16th, House of the Dragon Season 2 drops on HBO. So, yes. Joe, did you mute?
Did I mute?
No, you're
there.
here. All right, sorry. You mouthed yay, and I didn't hear it, so I didn't know if you muted or not. So there's a lot going on. We talked about the Alien Romulus trailer. We also got, or actually, Nate, you'll probably bring this up in the Marvel Minute, so I'll skip past that. So let's move on to what shows are on now and what we're getting through. First on AMC, we are getting into the meat and potatoes of Interview with a Vampire, man. I
keep forgetting about that.
I have not watched any of it yet. I'm so fired.
We are full on in France. We are at the Théâtre des Vampires. We are
stop spoiling shit.
This is where
you know the story.
This is where they're at. I just, without spoiling anything, let me just say, Assad Zaman, who plays Armand, is killing it. Ben Daniels, Santiago, is so amazing in this show, and the star of season 2 by far, Delaney Hales as Claudia. She is killing it. In the first episode, I didn't I wasn't sure. It was still a little bit of a transition from the girl who played her in season 1, but man, she is owning this role right now. So Joe, catch up. There's so much to talk about, and like they are taking their time with it too, which is nice. It's awesome. I figured that they were going to kind of run through it, but no, man, they are they are really digging into the theater in Paris, and it's great, and really focusing on also Armand and Louis and their relationship as well. So it is really, really great. So man, if you haven't started it yet, get in it, get on it, because we need to talk about it. Paramount Plus, Evil season 4 is also in full swing. 2 episodes in, yeah, and it is setting up everything very, very nicely for what the final season will be. Everybody's just doing. It's really, really great so far. I love this show. You can catch the first 2 seasons on Netflix if you haven't watched Evil yet. So get there if you can. And also on Paramount Plus, we had the season 5 series finale of Star Trek Discovery happen last week, and it went out on such a great note. Had some wonderful Easter eggs, and the final scene tied it in very nicely to some other Star Trek that we got. So I'll leave it at that. But I know Star Trek Discovery was kind of divisive with Star Trek fans, but you have Doug Jones, you have Sonequa Martin Green. You really can't. It's really just. I mean, it's so good, and it was such a great finale. I really appreciated this season and what they tried to do. I'm gonna sort of, before I get into Netflix, which is gonna spark a larger discussion here. Like I was saying before, in theaters now, we did watch the Garfield movie. And as I was about to say, there are some really great comedy bits in this, and really subtle that you can tell the writers. I didn't look and see who wrote this movie, but anybody who knows Garfield typically knows that Odie is basically a lifeless, like, sort of stupid dog they do not write him like this in the movie at all. He is basically Garfield's, like, he keeps Garfield alive essentially. Like Garfield does all the stupid stuff and everything, and Odie's just like there, like kind of saving him, and almost in a way like his Alfred to his Batman a little bit. And there's one scene where Garfield's on this big sort of monologue and Odie's doing stuff in the background, and it is like classic, like old school comedy stuff that's going on. And it's just, you could tell that someone had an appreciation for old school kind of comedy bits. Also just like a huge, great voice cast. Obviously Chris Pratt as Garfield. Sam Jackson as Vic, the father, and Nicholas Hoult as John. That guy's just showing up everywhere now. Yeah. So and Snoop Dogg's even in it as a cat in there too. Yeah. But yeah, before we get to Netflix here, I have a new segment called the Do Not Watch List. And these two movies on Amazon Prime, and they are the original and a sequel, Die Hard and Die Hard 2.
I mean, you set yourself up.
Yeah. So Kevin Hart made these movies, and we had saw that. So Jamie and I turned on Amazon Prime, saw that Die Hard 2 was out. We were just like, well, was there a Die Hard 1? Sure enough, there was. Anyway, don't waste your time with these movies. The first movie's passable. It is essentially think Tropic Thunder, but the director lives, and they try to get a Kevin Hart's a comedic actor trying to become an action star, and they put him in an action school, like an action star movie school, and they end up filming his training to be the movie. That
just sounds painful.
That movie was actually passable. It doesn't get really bad until Die Hard 2. And this makes me worried for the Borderlands movie.
Well, good thing he's not in charge of that.
That's true. Yeah. Because Die Hard 2 was like, Jamie and I rarely turn off movies. We almost turned this one off.
No, really?
We almost, like, we were just like, you know what? This is just, we stuck it out just to see where it went. And we're just like, wow, that's a night we will never get back. Stay away.
You can see what they were talking about at the roast. Tom Brady roast. They were giving him shit. Like, he wakes up at 4 a.m. to make a shitty movie.
Yeah, no, it was a pile. Let me just say that. It was just a total pile. Do not watch this. Back to the watch list, though. Let's jump right into Netflix. First and foremost, Dead Boy Detectives. That we finished that series. That's really, really good. Again, more connective bits to the Sandman universe. There's a great scene with Despair in Hell, which was wonderful. Again, what started out, it started out kind of, this is okay. Ended up being really, really great. Great supporting cast in here too. Brianna Cuoco, obviously the sister of Kaylee Cuoco, who was in that one sitcom that we saw. Big Bang. Yeah. And just, again, really, really great cast, really fun setting for everything, and just really good sort of world building around. Great villain too in the first season. So check it out if you haven't watched it already. And then a movie hit on Netflix, a little movie called Godzilla Minus One. And
dun, 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 dun.
So I'm gonna be honest with you guys, okay? The kaiju movies honestly do very little for me. I hate this.
Fired.
Yeah, I know, right?
Get out of here. Who are you?
Yeah. There's I don't know. There are these bigger sort of like it just obviously it's hard to get past the like if this was actually happening, what people would be doing and what would be happening and how people would react. And again, you get this sort of like fantastical element in these movies where, you know, I don't know, they come up, they drum up some idea, and then there are the movies where you're trying to aid the kaiju in the fight against another one, and it just like it gets a little too ham-fisted for me. So usually I'm forcing myself to finish these movies. Did not have that experience with Godzilla Minus One. I was in until the final effing frame, man. This, and I think you even said this in our chat, Joe, like, this is the Godzilla movie you've been waiting for. Like, are
we talking Godzilla now? Because I still have watch list and then other stuff. So are we going full review? What are we doing right now?
Well, I mean, I can get through
First impressions from Andy Drake. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I appreciated this movie way more than I expected to. I just thought it was going to be a well done Godzilla movie, and it is probably my favorite that I've ever seen.
Pretty sure I blew the chat up after we got back from the theater.
You absolutely did.
Like, you guys need to fucking see this movie. Oh my god.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we can dig into a deeper discussion later on this. Nate, if you got more watch list stuff, let me know.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, we should have talked about this ahead of time if we should end on this thing or end with MCU or whatever. But as far as the watch list stuff, yeah, I have several things here. So besides Godzilla Minus One, I really wish I could have found time to rewatch that because I really want to see it again, especially at home because the theater experience was nuts.
Yeah.
But Addie and I started watching today Delicious in Dungeon, which is a Japanese anime or some... It's actually not Japanese. I think it's maybe Korean, based on the kanji, but hilarious. Fucking hilarious. Yeah. It's literally like a group of adventurers get their asses kicked and then have to figure out, well, we don't have money to buy new gear or hire more people and buy food, so why don't we just try this again? But then we'll like figure out how to prepare the critters that we kill in the dungeon and then eat those. But it's hilarious. Like, it has all of the best anime tropes, like the crazy quick like look and then slash and the head's gone kind of thing, or the big eyes and like the that kind of stuff. They run into a dwarf in the first level of the dungeon who's literally like a gourmand cooking dungeon beasts, and it's hilarious. Addie and I are having so much fun with it. There's like 50 episodes of this show apparently. Oh, wow. Each one's based around a certain type of dungeon monster. So we just had them make like what was it? It was like a stir fry with cave scorpion that ends up tasting like lobster and some kind of ooze or something like that. It was hilarious.
Oh, wow.
Totally worth checking out because they're quick. They're made for TV. So like 23, 24 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Definitely check that out. It's super fun. Let's see. That was the most recent show. I watched Atlas, the Jennifer, the J-Lo movie on Netflix that was getting critically panned as like a big sci-fi epic they spent a ton of money on. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it was like the number one Netflix movie over the weekend. And
yeah, let me tell you that we passed up Atlas to watch Die Hard.
Oh god, what a fucking mistake that was. So Atlas wasn't great, but it was good enough for the sheer reason that it's basically Titanfall 2.
Okay.
With a twist. Like, there's a sentient mech that basically is the second character in the show. And it's actually pretty good, that part of it. And the special effects are pretty good. The supporting cast is fantastic. She is terrible in it. But everybody else is pretty great. But it's totally worth a watch. Definitely don't rewatch Die Hard or whatever the fuck it was.
No.
So I took Addie to see Furiosa in IMAX before it was out. It was a little intense for her. That's not really kind of her movie, but we enjoyed it. It was good. It was really good in points and good in other parts. Great in some, visually stunning. Obviously the audio, the sound mix was great. Fury Road it is not. And I needed a Fury Road palette cleanser afterwards because it's not even close to as good as Fury Road. But
and I think that was the perfect way to put it, because it had been a while before we watched Fury Road, and we got tickets to see Furiosa last weekend as well. So we watched Fury Road a couple days before we went to go see Furiosa. And well, and I think this is the problem with prequel stories anyway, is that it's hard to put these characters in peril and in problems when you know where their story goes afterwards, and I think that's kind of part of the problem. It's just like, well, this guy's not in the sequel, so I know he's going to die, right? And I know that this guy ends up here and this guy ends up there, so they do sort of develop some characters, and they make you root for them in certain spots. But it is a very lesser Fury Road in a way.
So the premise is great. I was all about, let's learn about Furiosa. I don't care who's there and who isn't, because clearly we don't get Chris Hemsworth's character in Fury Road, but he's fantastic.
Oh, he's great.
The execution was just off. Like, the editing was weird in some points. They lingered on certain plot lines that didn't need the extra time. They could have spent more time with her, and she's not in it enough. It doesn't focus. It should focus on her, but it doesn't seem like it does. It seems like it's more focused on all the supporting things around her. Well, I did like how they dovetailed it right into Fury Road at the end there, though. That was really
absolutely. No, I love that.
Joe, did you see this movie yet? I'm sorry, as we're talking through it.
Joe, you're muted.
You're muted, Joe.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. No, I have not seen it yet.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, I'll stop talking about it. It's worth a watch. If you can see it in theaters before it's out of theaters, do that, because the bigger screen, the better for that. It's struggling real hard. 111 million worldwide as of yesterday, and the budget was 168, which means they need to clear 300 million to break even with marketing costs and everything.
Wow. Okay.
So this is a lot of the like YouTuber, TikToker, movie people that I really have grown to trust over the pandemic plus are saying, like, is this going to be like a death knell of these big budget movies? Because this is another one where they're spending all the money and not making it back, and then you have movies like Godzilla Minus One made for 15 mil that 10x'd its budget and won an Oscar.
So crazy, man. And we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, for sure. That was a decent movie.
It was entertaining for sure. It was great to see her origin and everything. And honestly, I think Anya Taylor-Joy did a really, really great job.
Yep. It's no knock on her performance. All the performances were great. It was just not, I think maybe it was either editing or pacing, or it was a little too long. But I love how it dovetailed right into Fury Road. And if you watch those back to back, then I think it's probably a great lead-in.
Right.
But
no, absolutely.
That punctuation of Fury Road, it does kind of, you're like, ooh, I kind of wanted some more out of that.
Yeah, almost in the way that Rogue One is the great precursor to New Hope.
Well, I see where you're going with that, but Rogue One is like one of the best Star Wars movies ever made. As
right. That's true. That's true. Again, in terms of leading into its predecessor that was made prior to it.
I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
That would have been awesome. We need a lightsaber hallway scene at the end of Furiosa.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. What's happening?
Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious. Yeah, it would have been funny to see some Fremen or something else, some other,
that's
like
right,
in the desert or something like that. We ain't found shit. Just some other desert thing. They really should do the scary movie spoofs about the desert sci-fi shit that all happened this year.
Yeah, just need a sandworm to take out a war machine.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yep. Good stuff. And I think Fall Guy. So Annie and I went and saw Fall Guy in the smallest theater at our local. It was like 4 rows, but amazing because the AC worked great. The screen to theater size was crazy. So even though it was the smallest theater at the local Martinez Country Crest Cinemas, it was great. With the exception that my recliner chair was broken, so first world problems.
Man,
Yeah, so we had tacos and went and saw Fall Guy, and man, it was fun. It was like you knew it was going to be cheesy. They marketed it as being like a cheesy action movie or whatever, and fuck, does it deliver on the cheesy action movie? But it's also an homage to stuntmen. There's actually an intro with the director and oh Jesus, my brain. What's his name? The star of the fucking movie.
Oh,
Ryan Gosling. Yeah, they're talking about stuntmen and how this is an homage to that, and they take all the beating and all that.
All right,
but it's really a fun action flick. If you can find it in theaters, still try to do it. Otherwise, it's already available on digital. Definitely worth a watch.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's super fun. So that's what I had for the watch list.
Nice. All right. Well, I mean, let's get into Godzilla Minus One.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So I can't believe that this movie was made for that little. I really can't.
I think there might be some controversy about that number. I remember hearing that originally, but I'm pretty sure that's where they ended up.
Again, it for me, again, this sort of brought all that tension of seeing something like Godzilla for the first time and trying to figure out what the hell it is, right? And we have gotten over the past 5 years, we've gotten a lot of Godzilla, right? Like we've gotten a lot of it. I haven't even watched of Monsters and Mayhem on Apple TV Plus yet. Yeah. So, like, I just, like I said, to watch this again, it's such a great take on the genre, but Godzilla no less. And again, to put it in World War II, I just thought was just sort of brilliant, where you're not, you're not necessarily reliant on modern technology, and like you immediately know who's working on what or who's doing it. We need to coordinate a worldwide attack and focus all of our firepower here at this point in time and everything. Like there's a group of dudes that are meeting on Thursday night that have an idea on how to take this thing down. Are you in?
And talking about the World War II thing, specifically at that point in the war, when the war just ended and there are all of these outlying islands in Japan that don't know the war is over.
Yeah.
Because that literally happened.
Right.
They didn't have communication, and so they thought the war was going on for much longer than it actually was. And then for that to be the Jurassic Park style intro was fucking phenomenal.
So good. Yeah.
Godzilla's legit terrifying in this movie. Like, even in that form, like, it's wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to interject here. I'm going to say that is my one caveat with this movie is the Jurassic Park style intro.
Yeah.
Because I watched that and I was like, please don't give me another Jurassic Park knockoff Godzilla. Please don't do this to me. The minute you see him fully big and the music kicks in, I was like, in fucking tears. Like, this is the 50s Godzilla I grew up with. And just was like, yes, my big, lumbering, fat, slow-walking, giant baby.
He was a big boy.
Yeah.
Such a big boy.
Fat hams, just perfect.
What really sold it for me was, there's that sort of iconic Godzilla roar that they did their own here, like, and it is low and scary.
Yep.
Like, I have a feeling if they would have gotten to that little high pitched sort of shriek, that it would have taken you out of the movie a little bit, but to have it low and scary and long for as long as it is, man, it was really, really good. I just thought that was a
when
great.
When his tail lights up and it's like choo, choo,
oh
choo,
man,
and just spikes coming up. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then the nuclear blast that happens when it hits, that was killer. Like, and again, like, my eyes are glued to this like no other Godzilla movie that I've ever watched before, and I'm just like, that's so awesome.
Dude, and shout out to the boys moment of like
Yeah.
Like she pushes him into the hallway and just gets fucking sent.
Yeah,
Right.
she could have honestly, she could have jumped in with him.
She totally, yeah,
she
totally
could have
could.
jumped in. Although, but to bring, you know what? But to where the character needed to go made complete and total sense, right?
Right.
Yeah.
For where he needed to get to in order to do what he does at the end. Um,
Yeah.
I
And like
love.
another thing, sorry,
No, please, yeah,
I
Yeah.
said this. The story is so perfect because
Mhm.
it's so close to the original storyline, but entirely different. If that makes
yeah,
any sense. Like you
yeah,
get the focus on people, and there's relationships around this whole thing of Godzilla, and then you get the just cockamamie fucking plan that three people come up with of just like, okay, this is how we're gonna do it. Like we're gonna sink him to the bottom of the ocean. In the original Godzilla, it's we're gonna put
Joe, we're
like
losing
power
you.
lines
You're
around him and
skipping out
just
on us.
fry him. Did I lose all of you guys right now?
She's back. I think she's back.
okay, yeah. You broke up a little
Okay.
bit, Joe, at the end.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. Where did I
that's
leave off
okay.
in my
No, so
rant and
you
ramble?
were talking about it's a movie about people and their relationships, and then you started going Max
Going
Headroom.
wonky. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. But also it's the like you said, like four or five people come up with a
yeah,
cockamamie plan to kill Godzilla, and in this one it was sinking him to the bottom of the ocean. In the original one, it was like we're gonna put a bunch of power lines around him and electrocute him. It's
yeah,
like when it's just that kind of like harebrained, like this is never gonna work or it's going to work brilliantly, and it's like all that together was just like it's just like the original. I love it so much. I literally
yeah.
felt like I was 10 years old watching Godzilla with my mom.
Yeah, no, that to your point, the found family aspect of the pilot coming back to his home, and then yeah, getting stuck with the girl and the little girl, and then yeah, them, sort of inadvertently making this, and again, like where they bring Godzilla into the movie, I thought was really really smart too, because you get that great scene in the beginning with him, but then you also like you have to wait for it almost,
Mm-hmm.
to get it again, and you're just like, I thought I was watching a Godzilla movie for a second, and then we get this really great sort of, hey, post-war Japan, these are people needing to make it here, and then uh yeah, I love it. I really really appreciated when he started to yeah, there's this government job that pays a really really great money. Of course you're mine sweeping in the ocean, like of course you are. That's how you're gonna get there, like that's how we're gonna get back to Godzilla. It made so much sense. um
Yep.
so yeah, this is it, again, it's really good that you can make a movie like this on on the cheap essentially, and make it so compelling and so good, and again, so believable because of what's written on the page, right? And again, the execution here I think is just so big in terms of again, the setting of the story, where you put the characters, how the characters come in to each other's lives, where they meet, and then just like really, really bringing home this, yeah, this crazy cockamamie plan to take down something that you've never seen before, and essentially Megatron him, right, in the depths
Mm-hmm.
of the ocean, and see where that goes and what happens. And oh man, so good.
Man. So like I love it that because like you'd said you're not really into kaiju movies, and so I mean obviously I'm gonna love this because I've
Yeah.
been raised with Godzilla, and like he's my baby. I love him. To see like other people that watch this movie that don't have that inner like
Right.
Godzilla fire,
Yeah.
they love it too. I'm like, oh, bless.
Yeah.
And I will say, on that front, I am very glad I did not see this in theaters
Oh
because
man, you should.
I was squealing, screaming, crying, hitting, kicking. Bless my husband, he is a saint, and just like, man. But if and hopefully when they release the black and white version in theaters,
oh yeah,
front center.
Yeah. Yeah.
By then, I will have seen it enough to be able to not cry watching it.
Oh my god, we need to dub Joe's squee onto Godzilla's roar. It'll be
Oh
the
my
best thing.
goodness, yeah, absolutely. And Joe, great call on using the subtitles versus the English dub.
Yeah.
I went that route. So, and I think I that was part of the appreciation too, because it made me pay more attention, obviously, to everything going on, and I again, that really sold it for me. So, yeah. What else?
I mean, I'd like to talk about it.
Please, Nate.
Nate,
What do you got?
Cool. All right. Yeah, I'm here also, fuckers. So yeah, to both of your points, I think the reason that kaiju fans and non-kaiju fans love this movie is because it's not a kaiju movie. It's an amazing fucking like war movie,
right?
That has the most amazing version of Godzilla from the place he was birthed.
Yeah,
like literally the studio and literally the and it's hard to understand why this movie is called Godzilla Minus One unless you know the details behind that, because Japan was at A0 after getting leveled, and then Godzilla shows up.
Yeah.
So now it's -1. So that's why the title is that, and that's where Godzilla came from. It's the aftermath of the decimation of the bombing. So, specifically to what you said earlier, Joe, I think, or I think Andy, you brought this up. The World War II setting, and specifically just after World War II, when Japan is just scattered and I mean, embarrassed is a light way to put it, but the Navy is scattered and embarrassed and trying to figure out what's next, and then we get this these very intense scenes. Not a lot of Godzilla in this Godzilla movie, but just enough, I think. I think that was one of the biggest criticisms I saw online, was there's not enough Godzilla. It's like, dude, you're used to like Godzilla versus Kong. Go back to that. That's not what this is.
Right.
This is like, what's the best? This is like if Alien and Jaws had a baby.
Well, no, yeah, absolutely.
In the original Godzilla, there wasn't that much Godzilla
exactly,
in it either.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is a love letter to the 50s Godzilla.
Yeah.
Well, and again,
literally produced by the same studio. It's
the best horror movies, the best thriller movies create that tension with the person creating the conflict having very little screen time and creating an air of mystery around it. And I think that was the one decision here that was really well done, is to make a Godzilla movie and make him scary and threatening, and there isn't a lot of time to know who Godzilla is, what Godzilla is, and what he's doing. Right.
And it becomes more impactful when you spend so much time building the characters around him and the relationships between those people, and you get to like, oh, I really like that guy in the boat who's so super gung-ho and wants to shoot the gun at the front. Like, I love that guy too. The pilot's awesome, but I love that guy even more.
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously the other supporting characters with the child and the mother. But in general, I think, man, I mean, I love the big kaiju movies. I love the big CGI cheesy kaiju things also, but this has got to be like the best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. I don't really, given the pedigree that it comes from, and it's really, my only regret is that it didn't get the best foreign film Oscar as opposed to just best VFX.
Sure.
The fact that it was only nominated for visual effects, I think, was a crime. So hopefully they get, I mean, they actually did receive more awards than just that one, but it'll be nice to see if they kind of get some extra kickback at some point. But yeah, so I did a little diving, and the budget ranges from 10 to 16, but it still made 175 million or something like
so
that.
Incredible, man.
Let's see, 120 million worldwide on an estimated 10 to 15 million dollar budget. Yeah. So,
wow. Yeah. So they can make 5 more of these.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And they, you know, spoiler, they left it open as it would be.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was masterfully done. The storytelling from top to bottom was great. The pacing was great. The cinematography was amazing. I don't think there was any real wasted time or space at all. The character development all seemed like it was necessary.
Yeah.
I think wanted maybe a little more Godzilla, but I didn't feel that at all. The scene where he's kind of just trolling behind the boat and you see how big he is now is just like crocodile nose, eyes, crest just sticking out of the water. Like, oh fuck, you're so dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to. I mean, it feels kind of disingenuous to MST3K this movie, but man, like, I will get you. Dude, will get you, little boat.
Yeah. No, to your point.
They gave him the goofy Godzilla face too. That was so perfect.
Yeah. It was like Cookie Monster eyes at some points. Like, oh no.
But yeah, the spikes going through the water when he's coming at you, man, were so good. And when he takes down the first boat too, like, oh man, yeah, those scenes, those scenes were so good, were so great, and it really I don't know, the other movies, again, you know that you're watching a movie for some reason. Like, there wasn't the tension's not there, but the tension was totally here for this movie, I thought.
The scene with the train I've watched an ungodly amount of times. When you first see him in the music, and then like she's hanging in the train and drops into the water, it's just like, holy hell.
Yeah.
Addie had to stop me from doing the music because I kept going the whole way home, and she's like, Dad, God damn it. But she enjoyed it too.
Goodness.
She really liked it a lot.
That's crazy.
I give it
that's
a 10,
awesome.
A fucking 10.
Yeah, 10. Fucking 10. Bill Bob 10. Nice. Joe, what did Ma think?
Oh, okay. I got Ma's review right here. Watched the movie last night in English because I wanted to watch Godzilla in action. Watched it again today in Japanese, and I totally agree with you. That's better.
Yeah.
As you warned me, Godzilla starts out looking like a Jurassic Park failure, but he does turn into the Godzilla I grew up with. The transition towards the end, where his spikes get longer, is correct with, and I'm going to butcher all these names, Ishiro Honda, who created him. But you notice his head start to change, and as well, and that is Takeo Okinawa directing. Did I mention he's, my opinion, the worst director? Sorry. What made me cry, however, was that they cast several old Toho actors in this movie. For instance, the guy who was the head of the aliens in Monster Zero was the guy in charge of the guys cleaning the harbor in Minus One. Wow. And the guy with the wild gray hair was the editor of the low-budget newspaper in King Ghidorah.
Oh,
the music was spot on. Godzilla's roar was perfect from the middle of the movie to the end. I think I can safely say that Ishiro Honda and his protege, Jun Fukuda, would have approved. Have fun on your podcast. Love you. Ma.
Thank you, Cindy.
So, Ma's expert opinion on Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great.
I never would have thought.
That's awesome. That's great. Cindy, thanks so much for sending that in. That's awesome. I didn't know those little tidbits, which was great. Anything else to put the exclamation point on this? I think we've sold this enough.
Yeah.
In the words of Gurr, I'm gonna watch it again.
Yep.
Holy shit, Godzilla! Go fucking watch this movie.
Yeah, go watch it. It's on Netflix right now. And if you can watch it with the original Japanese with the subtitles underneath.
Yes.
And let us know what you guys think. With that, I think we can jump over to the Marvel Minute.
Yeah. Skip the Kevin Hart movies and go right to Godzilla.
Please do.
So first off, I want to say that Disney's remake of Black Beauty looks lit as fuck. Did you guys see that Venom trailer?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh no, I didn't shoot.
The symbiote horse, man.
Yeah. I can't wait to see that movie. Holy
Oh
crap! Great
man.
job, Bob Iger finally does something right.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
God. Yeah, the Venom trailer was fucking fantastic. Watched
I
it several
love the
times, and
we are Venom.
yeah, he's cutting them off, like jumping the beat. It's like,
Yep.
no, man, we got to work on this. You're taking me to all the great places after he
Yeah.
eats 4 guys' heads at once. Like, oh god.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks fun. Hopefully they do a better job than the last one. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like the fact that it's supposedly Venom's home planet coming down to Earth, which is actually a big fucking deal in the comic books. So we'll see what happens with it. But I do love that the casting and I think it's fun in general. And anything that Tom Hardy's in, like, I'll support. The guy went to a fucking Renaissance fair and jousted in full armor recently,
Right.
and it was like a jiu-jitsu black belt and shit. Like, the guy's badass.
Yeah.
So yeah, love the Venom trailer. What'd you guys think?
I thought it was great. I thought it was good. It definitely it definitely brought back the feels from the first one for sure. So yeah. I hopefully to your point, hopefully they're on the right track with it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Joseph, did you watch this today?
I didn't watch it.
What the fuck?
Shame.
It's 3 minutes.
Shame.
I'm so fired.
Shame.
Shame.
Tragic.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Since our last podcast, we had the finale for the X-Men 97 show. Did you guys watch that?
I have not watched it yet.
Oh my god, you guys!
That's my bad.
A month.
I know it's my bad. It's my bad.
No, less than a month. 3 weeks.
I had to watch Die Hard.
No,
sorry.
How far did you? Oh, fucking less talking. Oh my god, Joe, did you watch X-Men 97? Now we're losing you again. Okay, moving on. Joe, you're there? She's there. Okay.
Come back.
Did you watch X-Men 97, Jobin?
Yes.
All the way through?
Is it there's more?
There was the finale happened after our last podcast. There's the 3-part finale at the end, episode 7, 8, or 8, 9, and 10.
No, I don't. No, I did not. Shit, I thought that was the end. I'm extra fired.
I didn't either, Joe. It's okay.
No, blame it on Godzilla Brain in the desert.
Yeah, it's not okay because they fucking went hard at the end. You guys have got to watch this. Okay, we'll save it for the next one, I guess.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Holy hell, I'm gonna rewatch the series anyway. But that's as hard as they've ever gone in this kind of a movie or show. So
okay,
watch it. Let's see. There was some cool stills that came out from Deadpool and Wolverine that confirmed a bunch of Fox X-Men villains coming back. So you've got like Sabretooth, you've got Pyro, you have Azazel, you have Lady Deathstrike, and Toad, and Castillo. So it looks like they're all going to make at least somewhat brief cameo in the upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine movie. That'll be cool.
Nice.
There's a rumor that Jensen Ackles is getting a Ghost Rider movie in 2025.
What?
So that's for Jobin.
That's crazy.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. Apparently the trailer's fake. So sorry, Joe.
Oh.
But there is a new Ghost Rider project in the works. So we'll see who ends up running with that. It could be a couple different people. So Keanu Reeves, Norman Reedus, and Ackles, I think, is also in the running. So
God, Norman Reedus makes all the sense for that role.
Yeah. See how that goes. It would be fun to see Soldier Boy in that. That'd be fine. Let's see what else. Fantastic Four movie cast John Malkovich is going to be in the new Fantastic Four movie.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's like, wow, this cast is actually turning out to be pretty fucking great. I'll be interesting to see what happens and who he's cast as, because they haven't said what it's going to be. But so far, this cast is shaping up to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else did I have here? The last 7 movie shows coming out for the rest of this year. So we've already started. Let's see. We did Echo already. Madam Web, which we won't talk about. I still haven't watched that. Speaking of things not to watch, don't fucking watch that movie. Annie decided to take one for the team and watch it over the weekend, and I want that time back. It was so horrible. I mean, yeah, so don't watch Madam Web. Let's see. So we've got Hit Monkey season 2 comes out in July 15th, which I didn't realize they had a season 1. I remember I heard it, but I'd never watched it. It's supposed to be amazing. On Hulu. Let's see. Deadpool and Wolverine, obviously, July 26th. That's going to be fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I think we're trying to get a big group to go, Joe. So if you have any interest in going that weekend, let me know.
Say again, what's the date?
26th of next month.
Okay.
Yeah. Venom: The Last Dance in October, which we just saw the trailer for. Kraven the Hunter, which looks like it's still in this year, maybe December 13th at this point. Agatha Darkhold Diaries, or Agatha All Along, or whatever the fuck the 8th title is now. It's supposed to come out in September, maybe. And then there's a Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man animated series about freshman year. It was originally called Freshman Year. So we'll see what happens there. I think there's also a Eyes of Wakanda, I think, animated series potentially coming out, which might be cool. So
okay.
Yeah, so there's some decent stuff to keep us satiated for the Marvels over the rest of the year. And according to Mr. Bob, no more than 2 movies and 3 series a year, or whatever the fuck. So he's canceling a lot of shit from Disney. So yeah,
I mean, honestly,
MCU, he's fucking up everything else. Apparently, they need to focus on quality. But
yeah, I think that's a smart move. I really do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, again, too much of a good thing is still too much of a good thing.
I mean, I'd love to have the good thing, and then we can worry about the too much. Deadpool 3 has my hopes up real fucking high.
No, for sure.
Yeah, just the trailer with Hugh Jackman swearing in it. That's great.
Yeah.
He's trying to. The scene we saw it was in IMAX in front of Furiosa. And he's walking. When Deadpool's walking up to Logan, he's like, "Look, lady, I'm not interested."
Yeah.
Just the banter and the chemistry. I'm there for it. So
yeah.
That's it for me.
Okay. So the last little bit that I have that in adjacent sort of video game news, Homelander is now a playable character in Mortal Kombat. He released today for the early access folks, and after I hit end recording on this, I am going to to open up that can. And if you guys just watch the trailer online of his victory finish,
oh man,
it's.
It is there milk involved?
There is milk involved. Yes, there is, and it is done just as well as in the series, if I should say so myself. So check that out for sure. That's what we got. Anything else, guys, to add?
I noticed, isn't there some Arcane news coming out or came out that there's some
November? Yeah, it was
November date and a nice little picture.
Yeah, So I shared the poster that they confirmed it for November a while ago, but then they shared a poster, I think, on Insta. That was really cool, and it has Jinx with the little shine in her eye and everything. So should be interesting.
We'll give a little shout out to our friend Steve Polivka, who is currently in the middle of his worst movie tournament.
Oh God, yeah. We should probably have him on to talk about that.
We really should, because I love the posts. I love the daily posts of what he's watching today. And man,
I have some words about his reaction to Showgirls.
Right. If Showgirls doesn't win, we're rioting.
So yeah, can't wait to see how that turns out. Yeah, my vote was for barbed wire going all the way for sure. But anyway, what did you guys think of Godzilla Minus One? You let us know in the comments. You can find us on Facebook at the Realm and Regret Podcast. You can find us on X at Realm_Regret. Joe, where can they find you?
At Joe Chickadee on the socials or at joechickadee.com.
Nate, where can they find you?
Yeah, Avid Gamer, AV1D Gamer on all the socials and your gaming platforms of choice. And come explore the wasteland and Fallout 76. Good stuff. And it's free. Get to it.
Yeah. You can find me at Crazy Drake on Facebook, Andrew Drake on X. And until the next time, we have spoken.
We are Venom.